Live from Omaha, it's Lane 9, and here's your host, Ariana Kukors.
Good evening and welcome to Lane 9. I'm your host, Ariana Kukors. You guessed it, we're in a different set tonight because it's been raining all day here in Omaha. We are where all of the action has taken place tonight, and I know that we're running a few minutes late, but I promise that our guest list will make it all okay in the end. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get started right away with all the action with Carolyn Joyce. It was a fast time tonight.
Yeah. I know people were really hyping up the men's 200 IM last night, but I think tonight was actually my favorite day of racing, my favorite night of racing of all 7 days so far.
We're well into day 7. So the 100 fly took place tonight for men.
Yes, the 100 fly for men, and this event was wide open. I polled several coaches and several swimmers today, and some people thought Phelps would be in, some people thought Phelps would be out. Personally, I had Phelps on my list because he just does not lose this race. And then Tom Shields came out in second. It was very close, 6/100th of a second, separating second through fourth place. You know, I spoke with Tim Phillips after that race, and of course he's bummed, you know, like we talked about last night. His girlfriend, Katie Miley, did make the team in the breaststroke event. But one thing he said, he was like, you know, it really does suck, and it does. And all of our hearts break for the people that are below that second place. And he's like, but I'm not done yet. And
I love that.
I love that too.
Just a smirk. And I think that people like that come back stronger than ever. When they have that fire, they know they let themselves be disappointed and sad in some ways. And then they come back and they light that fire under them, and you can't stop them.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to the 200 backstroke for women.
Yeah, 200 backstroke for women. It was very fast. Maya Dorado dropping over a second off of her personal best time with a 2:06.9, and she ranks now as the 4th fastest time in the world this year. Missy coming in second with the 9th fastest time in the world. So Missy's time of 2:07.8 is about maybe 3.5 seconds off of her personal best she set in the London Olympics 4 years ago. So we do know that Missy has the potential to be faster than she has been, but you know, we'll see. I think she's just really happy to sneak in that second place spot in that race.
I think she is too. I've seen her a lot of multiple times throughout the week, and you know, I think getting trials under your belt, being able to get back to training for a few weeks, reset, go on to Rio, I think that we're going to see a lot faster swims out of somebody like Missy.
I agree, and when this meet doesn't go bad, but you still manage to squeak out those first and second place finishes, I think no matter what, it's going to be so much better. It's going to be such a huge relief, a stress relief off of her shoulders, and we'll see some faster swims from Missy in Rio.
I think so too. So moving on to the 800 free for women. It was a little bit of a different race than I expected. The same finishers that I thought, but I was really pulling for Katie to do something.
Yeah, I think everyone was. So Katie, like she does, took it out under world record pace at the 200. Something that was kind of interesting about Katie's swim, she was doing like a 1 to 2 beat kick for this entire
I saw that
800.
as well.
Yeah. And so I kind of thought, like, is she going to turn those legs on? Are we going to see something special at the end? But you know what? This was Katie Ledecky's 10th race of the meet.
Unbelievable.
And it's not like she's swimming 50 freestyles. You know, she's a distance girl. She swam her first race on day 1. It's now day 7, and I think we saw some tiredness out of Ledecky, and that's okay. You know, 8:10 is nothing to snuff about.
No.
It's still incredibly fast. And then we had Leah Smith in second place with an 8:20.
So Katie Ledecky actually bumped herself out of the top 10 tonight, the top 10 of all time in the 800 free. She owns the 11 spots. And so, I mean, exactly, it's not anything that you can complain about. She had a phenomenal race. I've talked to her a couple times. I asked her about her 400 free earlier this week because if you remember, she went out way under world record pace. And her coach said, I just let her go free and just kind of let her use those sprinting genes, I guess. And she's been dabbling in a lot of races, you know?
She has. You know, she finished in 7th place in the 100 freestyle, so just out of that top 6, which means we won't see her on the relay, but she still went at 53, and that girl's a distance swimmer. That's nuts.
It's unbelievable to see her versatility.
Yeah.
50 free for men was fast.
Whew, that one got my heart beating.
I bet it did.
50 free for men, an incredible race. We saw Nathan Adrian with the win. Former teammates Nathan Adrian and Anthony Irvin, still good friends, 21.51, 21.52. They're 3 and 4 in the world this year. And something I really love about this 50 free with these two guys, Irvin in particular, Anthony won the gold medal, tied for first with Gary Hall Jr. in the 50 freestyle 16 years ago in the Sydney Olympics when you and I were
Unbelievable.
kids. Yes. So here he is now coming back for his third Olympic Games, his third swim in the 50 freestyle, and hearts out. My heart is with Anthony on that one. I really hope, he can put that swim together in the finals.
Yeah.
Like he kind of missed out on it a little bit in London with that start. So
Yeah, I think so too. And I actually did a swim clinic with him a couple months ago. And so we had a 2-hour car drive to San Diego, which was great because I got to hear kind of all about his journey. And he is somebody who I have so much respect for. He has faced a lot of adversity, had a lot of success, and he brings a lot of experience to this Rio Olympics.
he really does. He just released a book as well. His life is definitely fascinating, and I love how swimming has brought him back here.
I think so too.
And I think he's definitely a fan favorite as well. Definitely an athlete favorite.
Yeah. So let's move on to the semifinals for women, the 50 freestyle.
Holy cow.
How was this to watch?
It was exciting. I was talking to a couple of my past teammates, like, are you nervous or does it upset you when you watch your best events from Olympic trials? And, kind of mixed reviews. For me, I've been sitting here for 7 days waiting for the women's 50 free. I was so excited to watch this, and it did not disappoint.
No.
We had Abby Weitzel out in first with a 24.34,
Wow.
and then Madison Kennedy, my former teammate, 24.39. And those are the 6th and 7th fastest times in the world this year. So I'm really excited about that race. This is actually the fastest an American woman has gone in, 6 years.
Wow.
Since 2008. And, Dara has the American record that she set in Beijing in 2008. And we haven't seen a woman go under 24.4. I was just talking with Jessica Hardy, who qualified in this event 4 years ago alongside me. And we were nowhere close to this 24.3 range. And I think it's exciting. We haven't had a medal in this event since 2008, and it's really cool to see the sprint women, on top and hitting these fast times. So fingers crossed for some faster swims. The Australians are definitely going to be tough, the Campbell sisters, but I'm thrilled about this.
I think it's going to be a fast one tomorrow. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah.
So we have one more, the 1500 for men, which we're going to see the final go off tomorrow night.
Yeah, 1500 for men. I think Connor Yeager is our strong favorite there.
Yep.
We have Gemmel in there as well. And then, someone I think is a dark horse is Zane Grothy. I think Zane could definitely pull out a good swim. I was actually talking to a couple people tonight about this race as well, and we really do think that second place is wide open. It could go to anyone, but Connor's the for sure strong favorite out in front.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to see that. Can't wait to see. I can't believe there's only 1 day left.
One session left.
One session left.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's gone by incredibly slow, and in some ways, it's gone by incredibly fast.
I completely agree. Day 5 was a little, like, when is this going to come to an end, or when are we going to get to the 50 free for me? But, it's so cool to watch this meet unfold and see these athletes. Some finish early in the meet, some are, just hitting their stride later on, and the amount of focus it takes, the preparation and focus it takes to get to this moment, it's so beautiful. It's the pinnacle of our sport.
It really is. Well, I'm looking forward to our final recap tomorrow night, Kara. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ari.
Awesome. So now we're going to take a look at 2 moms who I was able to spend some time with, and we might hear from their daughters in a second. Let's check it out. What does it mean for you knowing, having been to some Olympics, been to some big meets, welcoming, I guess, the new parents and families onto the stage?
There's a lot of new ones.
Yeah.
So Gail and I are going to have our work cut out for us, but we've already started with that process.
Yeah.
And Allison and Elizabeth are going to do a terrific job with that.
I know.
They're actually genuine leaders, and
They
just
are.
really relax them. They are so great for Team USA.
They really.
Yeah.
What are you guys most looking forward to for London or for Rio?
Just the
I don't
fact
like
that we
London.
get to go. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, it's just amazing to go to the third one. And for the new parents, I would just tell them, just try to enjoy it, because don't think it's going to happen again and again, because it's harder every time. So.
So these 2 are total jokesters on the U.S. Olympic team. Like, they're always laughing and having a good time. Like, what were they like as Speedy Sixers or coming onto the scene? Were they always having this much fun?
Yes, probably worse.
Probably
Just gets worse. Yeah.
I would
Same
think
with
so.
Allison?
Same with Allison, yeah.
Oh my gosh, seeing that. Your parents absolutely crack me up. And they're actually in the stands right now cheering us on. So
Yes, they
during
are.
our live show, I am joined by Elizabeth Beisel and Allison Schmidt.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Okay, so we've gone back a really long time. We've known each other for a while. We spent a lot of time together in the 2012 Olympic team. We just saw a piece from your moms. What does it mean to have their support in the stands? I know we can, for the most part, hear them from a mile away.
I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Allison and I are equally as crazy as our mothers, which
I love.
But no, it's awesome to see, our friendships blossom, but also theirs. And they're cheering for us on the stands. I know I always have Gail cheering me on, and Joni's always cheering her on. So it always
They're
works out.
riot.
Yeah.
They are
Always
right.
fun.
Well, and we were talking about that too because there's so many rookies coming onto this Olympic team, and how it's really the veterans' parents. Like we as veterans feel the responsibility to, bring the rookies in, but it's also a dynamic within the parents, which I think is really cool to see. I've been watching you guys as parents the whole time, and they're like making friends with everybody, and it's been amazing to see.
I'm surprised that they don't miss some of our races.
I know.
They probably
Have they ever missed an important
I'm pretty
race?
sure they probably have from talking too much.
Okay, so who's more likely to miss, your mom or your dad? Allison.
Ooh, my dad.
Your dad for sure. Well,
My dad loves to talk.
Your dad tried to
He
take
makes
over my
lots
set.
of new friends.
He does. And I mean, Joni's always on the pool deck.
Joni is. So Joni wouldn't miss it. Ted would miss it.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't miss an officials meeting, so
Oh,
she's
no.
not.
No, she doesn't.
Okay, so you guys are roommates. You've gone back a long time. I love that dynamic. I think it keeps it so relaxed in the ready room. What does this friendship mean to you guys as you're preparing for your third Olympic Games?
She's all right. I mean, it's been a long road.
From the 16-year-old losing her passport, bawling her eyes
You
out.
lost your passport?
Dallas
Oh my
Airport.
God. Okay, so
Oh my God.
Allison and I tend to get in a little bit of trouble.
A little bit.
Not meaning to. We're innocent, I swear. But we were on our flight home from Beijing, and they were sending everybody under the age of 18 years old home.
Yeah.
So Allison and I were the two youngest, so they sent us home. They were like, "Get out of here."
Your dad.
As we almost missed the bus home.
Yeah.
They left without us.
The bus leaves without us.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Off
we're
to a
running
good
in
start.
the middle of the Beijing summer heat. Haze. You got it all.
No Chinese in our blood.
So you can't speak the
We
language.
can't
You have
speak
no
it.
idea how to
Ni
get around.
hao
Okay.
is the extent of our Chinese.
Okay, you were in
Shay
trouble.
shay.
Bukachi.
Off to a good start.
Yes. And so we are running. We have two suitcases each, and we're running after this bus. And we
Literally.
get to the bus stop.
You're
We're
literally running with your
running.
rolly suitcases?
Yes.
Yes, we're sweating, like drenched.
Okay.
We're already crying because we just want to go home.
Yeah.
So we get to this bus stop, right?
Yeah.
I think. And I'm looking in my bag, and my passport's nowhere to be found.
Oh
Wait, so
my
then
gosh.
I told her I'd watch the bags when she ran back to get them.
I'm like, wow, great, thanks, Allison.
Where was it? Just in
It was
the,
still in the village.
Yep.
gosh.
So I left it in the village with one of the USA Swimming people, and I don't know how, but we made our flight.
We made it.
How did you do that? Just like pouring sweat? You must have sweat through all your clothes.
Oh, it was disgusting.
Okay, so Shimidi, you're the big jokester of the team, and I know that you heard a good joke this week, so feel free to indulge us.
Oh, Michael told me a joke today,
Okay.
or before the press conference.
Okay.
He might get kind of mad that I said his name because he might not want to claim this joke, but how do you make a Kleenex dance?
How?
You put a little boogie in it.
And that is Ready Room humor.
Yes, there we are.
Okay, so Shimidi, a few years ago, you dabbled in a little bit of a different career, and we're going to pop up some video right now
Oh, gosh.
of you at a swim meet.
Oh my God. 2013 World Champ Trials. I will forever
going on
remember
here?
this.
You look good. Well,
Man,
rolling
what
around.
was that like?
I love when oh, that one was rough. I liked sitting there better. And then when I was pushing it, once it got going, it was all
Is
right.
this a new form of dryland you have going on?
Yeah, trying to stop that.
Okay,
Man.
so you had to. You
with a
actually had to stop
200-pound
it?
guy, yes, with a 200-pound guy on it too. I'm like, okay, come on now, stop.
And not so much.
I'm just glad the track ended.
Yeah, was there like a stop or something comfortable at the end that you could run into?
I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure that there are 2 other guys that kind of looked like they could have been linebackers,
Okay.
and they stopped it for me.
Okay.
There you go.
So you dabbled in this, but then you decided that swimming was the safe bet to get back into.
Yeah,
You're like,
for
okay.
sure. I didn't sweat as much.
I know.
At least you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking forward to Rio. What are we most excited about?
The journey. The
I was
experience.
just gonna say that.
You guys
It's
share a
not.
brain.
Yeah, nothing.
We're on
I
the
mean,
same
of course,
wavelength.
we want to bring home medals for the U.S. and represent the U.S. again. But the best part, from 2008, 2012, what I remember the most are the stories that we have with each other and the stories with our teammates, rather than the medals or the records that we have.
What are some stories? I feel like we have
Okay,
good ones.
the first night of the Olympics, the 3 of us tried to journal, and we were like, every night, do you remember that? We have a
we
picture
lasted
proof.
maybe
Yes.
30 seconds.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, we're gonna sit here and get really serious and journal all about our
Have a journal
experience.
up here, writing it.
Yeah, that. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we were
It was
like,
very
let's pretend
staged.
we're writing in our
Yes.
journal.
And then we would leave you presents in your swim bag.
You would. Yeah. Okay, so those memories, and I completely agree. Like the medals are
Yeah.
amazing, but it's that kind of stuff that you remember. It's that kind of stuff you come back and
Yeah.
joke about.
The
and
last night, remember when we went to McDonald's?
Oh,
we had some McDonald's.
$200 worth.
Not McDonald's.
$200
Wait, the whole
worth of
damn
McDonald's.
plate's out.
Yeah, I remember those
With Sun
McFlurries.
Ying.
Okay, those McFlurries were the best things ever.
Oh my goodness. We have pictures, and each of us, it was us
God,
3.
So many French
And
fries.
we all had like 2 of the big like platter plates
God.
to ourselves.
We earned it.
We did, we did,
was
we
a
did
lot of
earn
swimming.
that.
Yeah.
But it was like 2 a.m. and I remember.
I'm pretty sure we
waking
rolled the trash can back with us.
Okay, well, I am so thankful for the 2 of you. I love watching you light it up. And I think the 3 of us, we have a pretty hilarious group text going, which
Yeah, we do.
always makes me laugh because normally one person is in practice. So, like, Beisel once got out, and I think you had like 150 text messages.
Yeah, and I was like,
Sorry about that.
Somebody
So
likes me today.
popular.
So popular. But I'm so thankful for the both of you. I'm so proud that you're representing Team USA, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks,
Thank
Ari.
you.
So I was able to catch up behind the blocks with Jay Litherland, and let's take a look at what he had to say. I am joined now by Jay Litherland. He placed second in the 400 IM. Now, I've been seeing you all over the pool deck, but sometimes it's not you.
No. I mean, all week my brothers have been like, just like, everyone's been like asking him like, hey, congrats and everything, and it's like, I'm not Jay, so it's pretty funny.
So Jay is a triplet. Kevin and Mitch are your brothers, and I've been asking for some coaching. I'm like, okay, how do I tell which is which? And we've been talking about freckles. There's one here and here, and one on the nose. Oh yeah, they gave me a whole description of the difference of hair, and I'm like, what happens if it's in a cap or it's wet? I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, the coaches still kind of have a hard time, but I mean, with the with the caps and goggles, it's like impossible for some people. But our freshman year, we had like all bald hair, because like
And no one could tell you apart.
yeah, it was impossible. But now everyone's got it down. But
Do you guys ever trick anybody?
yeah, a lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
Still, or just like when you're kids tricking your parents?
I don't know. We did it a lot in high school. Like we would drive our high school's teachers insane.
I am joined now by some special guests, and I'm going to turn it over to my co-host for the day, Allison Schmidt, to introduce who we have here.
My roomies. So this is Nicole Johnson, soon to be Nicole Phelps, and this is Boomer Phelps. Hi, Boomer.
Oh my goodness. Hi,
Hi.
Boomer. He just woke up. He was sleeping pretty well a little while ago.
Yeah, he was. He was awake for Daddy's race and then fell back asleep.
Yeah, so that's support right there.
Oh my God, yeah. He's been awake for every finals race, which is kind of incredible.
That is incredible. Is it just because it gets a little bit louder in here?
No, he literally wakes up like a little bit before, and he's like wide-eyed and ready. So
Oh
it's
my
cool.
gosh, that is
You
too
think he's going to be here one day?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Do you think that Michael's going to be an official on deck one day?
Could you imagine Michael officiating? Well, what I think is hilarious is him officiating like an age group swim meet or something, and
Oh my
him
God, I
standing
can't
on the.
wait.
That
White
would be-
pants, white shoes, white top.
He is gonna crush it. Okay,
I'm scared.
I know. So we've been talking about some diaper changing stories, and I know, Schmitty, that you have a hilarious one. You're almost late for practice one day, and you had to call in some help.
So we had 3 minutes before we were leaving for practice.
3 minutes
so-
exactly. So
3
is it like a
minutes.
timed every single day where you're like,
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you. I'm gonna cut
Please,
in right now.
please.
Every morning it's like a mad dash for the door because they both. One will wake up early or one will wake up late, and it's like Oh my gosh, we have to be out of the door because they have to be on deck at a particular time because Bob is so serious about showing up. So.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
I like
Side
it.
note.
So alarms are important. Getting out the door
Yes.
on time is important.
Oh yeah, but not much of a morning person.
Is Michael? Okay. So are you a morning person?
I'm good in the morning.
Okay.
Boomer? Yeah, Boomer's like Michael.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're outnumbered
Yeah.
in the morning people department at the house.
So all 4 of us are in the kitchen, and I was like ready to go, but we had 3 minutes. So they were eating their breakfast. I was like, I'll take Boomer, go change him. So I'm changing him, and I go, Nicole's like, oh no, what's going on?
It was a lot louder than that.
Louder. And so she came running and knew I got peed on right away. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish the diaper, and she is cleaning up the pee from the walls. And so I pick him up and I was like, I'll just like pat him. He spits up on me.
Oh my gosh. So did you make it to practice on time?
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
How is that even possible?
We got some paper towels. We ran out the door.
Was there like a shirt change or
Nicole
anything?
said, no, not even. Nicole said, welcome to motherhood.
And you sent her on her way.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I love seeing all these pictures, and I know that holding him, like whenever you're in the right position, you kind of, Boomer gets handed around. What's that like?
So we all know that Boomer loves, which actually he's happy right now where he's sitting. This is new for him.
Okay.
But normally he's kind of cuddled up on your chest.
Yeah.
And that's what he loves the best. So Schmitty's done a really good job at learning the positions, as has Michael. And so anytime I see either of them laying on the couch,
Yeah.
I'm like, here, quick. And I throw Boomer on their chest and I walk away.
It's perfect. And
Yeah.
then you've mastered how to assume that position without standing up when he wants to stand up.
Oh, during taper?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes he loves when you stand up.
Save the
So
legs.
then you have to move back a little bit and trick him that you're standing up.
Okay. And he totally falls for it. So I love keeping track of everything that you guys have going on in your house. It looks so fun. What's it like to be here? And I know, having Allison make the team as well as Michael, like what does it mean to be able to watch them do that?
I'm gonna cry. Like I'm at a loss for words. I'm so proud of the both of them. Our household can be crazy at times. We
Yeah.
have 2 Frenchies running around. We now have a baby. I call them my kids. Like we have a blast together, and knowing that they both have accomplished what they wanted to do and they set out to make the team and they both did, it's just absolutely incredible.
I love that.
She's also a swimmer too, even though she doesn't train with us. I still pretend she's a swimmer.
Oh, yeah?
When we go on the car rides and sing along, do the karaoke in the car. She knows everything about practice.
I do.
Your Snapchats and everything. I mean, she lost you guys in the grocery store the other day, which was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. We were
Yeah.
snapping her, asking her where she was. We were gonna get on loudspeaker.
They're threatening to get on the loudspeaker. I was like, oh no.
oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for joining. All 3 of you for joining. It's so good to see you. Thanks, Boomer.
Say thank you.
Boomer, you are really well dressed.
I know, right?
Thank you.
I love your daily outfits.
Well, thank you so much. It was good to see you guys.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to toss now to Gary Hall Jr. over to his segment, The Shallow End. Let's see what he has to say tonight.
Hi, I'm Gary Hall Jr. Getting weird with Gary Hall Jr. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks so much for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here. I've been a fan of yours for such a long time. So, Gary, do you know Michael Phelps? That's the most common question that I get. Do I know Michael Phelps? Yes. I swam on 2 Olympic teams with me, but he's been on like 5 teams, so who hasn't? You have so many things to say, some of them insightful, some of them not so insightful. How is it that you ended up here talking to yourself like this? I think it's probably like some type of identity crisis or midlife crisis that I'm going through. I don't know. Maybe it's some form of spectrum schizophrenia. Why would you even say something like that? This is going terrible. Don't believe anything he says, folks, because I have to say, and I know from firsthand experience, that this guy is
Always entertaining hearing from Gary Hall Jr. Now I'm joined by Garrett Webergale. Now, Garrett, some of my favorite pictures from the 2008 Olympics are of you in that relay. What was it like to be a part of that historic moment? I know you get asked this question a million times.
Yeah. It was just the greatest. Being part of that relay with those guys was a true joy of my life. really the greatest moment was being on the awards stand with those guys and
Yeah.
seeing the people in the stands, the other Americans. People were really proud. I mean, that's one of the things you don't realize.
Yeah.
When you go home from the Olympics, people really are proud of how you're represented. They say, thank you so much for representing our country like that. They say it as if you're like their kid or something.
Yeah.
You realize that it's more than just a sporting event. It's really kind of a way that we show our country is great, and people take a lot of pride in that.
I agree. Were you surprised by the reception that you got when you got home?
I literally could not believe it. Yeah, people, I was at a Brewers game in Milwaukee, and people were coming up to me. They say, wow, thank you so much for representing our country like that. We loved that relay. We were so proud of you. And I said to myself, I've never seen you in my life. I'll never see you again, but you're acting like I'm your son. And these people were just so happy to see us. And that's when I really realized that it's more than just a sporting event. It's really a country and them coming together to show them the world that we're still great.
Completely. And it is really an amazing thing to be a part of a Team USA relay. What's
It
it
is.
like for you to watch that now and not be a part of it?
It's so nice to watch it.
I know,
it
isn't it?
really is. I absolutely loved that journey while I
Yeah.
was doing it, but now it's so much fun to watch those guys. You can tell they're amped up. It's more than just watching it on TV. You know, the first night, Sunday night, when I was watching it home with my wife and my sister, I was a little bit nostalgic and a little bit sad, thinking, oh man, I want to go best time again. I want to make the Olympic team again. But then I thought about the lifestyle that requires. You know that lifestyle as well as anyone, and I realized that I don't want that anymore, but I'm so happy that these guys are doing it and chasing their dreams and representing our country so well.
That's so cool. So I know that you're always someone that I always look to because you had healthy things on your plate. And I know
Yeah.
that this is something to take pride in, and
Yeah.
not only as an athlete, but now. What has that journey been like for you post-swimming?
Yeah, so I got super interested in food and nutrition, and that was a massive part of my performance in the pool. I would never have gone to the Olympics without that.
Yeah.
And basically, I've dedicated my whole career now to helping other athletes perform at their best using nutrition. So I have a company called Athletic Foodie, and we make snacks specifically designed for athletes to eat before, during, and after competition to perform at their best. And the thing is that a lot of athletes, it's changing now. Connor Dwyer is a perfect example of that. That guy got really keyed in on his nutrition,
Yeah.
locked you when he hurt his knee. He got really keyed in on nutrition, and now people are starting to realize it's a weapon, and you can use it to your advantage, and more people are starting to see that.
I love it. And what's it like for you to be back here at trials and kind of seeing everything and walking around sights and sounds of the trials?
It's unbelievable.
It's fast.
I was not actually planning on coming to the trials, but I'm doing some part-time coaching with a team called Nitro in Austin. We had
Oh,
8
that's
high
awesome.
schoolers come here. Perfect example is not only seeing them achieve their dreams, but last night I was somewhere and I met a woman named Gloria, 1952 Olympian.
Oh my
Hearing her
gosh.
story from the Olympians, the Olympics in Budapest, it's just, you're part of that community. You're part of that community, obviously everyone knows.
Yeah.
It's a bond that is unbreakable, and just hearing other people's stories is really special. It's part of a club that we're all very proud to be in.
I agree. And it's so good to be here and catch up with everybody. And even when you haven't seen people for 4 years,
Yep.
it's like you can pick up where you left off, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I saw Clete Keller
Yeah.
the other 2 nights ago for the first time in probably 6 years, and we were reminiscing over the 2005 World Championships. That was my first trip, and we all looked up to Clete because he was the diesel.
Yeah.
He just came back so fast on that 2004 relay when they won gold in the 800 freestyle relay, and it was great seeing those guys. And those memories, they never fade, they never get old. It's always a pleasure talking about them.
Cool. Well, it's so good to see you. And in true relay fashion, I'm going to ask you to tag team our next guests. We're just going to bring them in informally, Jessica Hardy and Kathleen Baker. So it was so good
Cool.
to see you, Garrett.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
being
having me
here.
on, too.
Good. See ya. Hey, ladies, come on up. We're just going to keep this party rolling. As I said, we were talking about just kind of a conveyor belt of guests. I'm joined by some incredible athletes. And here I have Kathleen Baker. She made the team in the 100 backstroke. Thanks, Kathleen, for coming on.
Thank you.
And Jessica Hardy, someone who I've known for many, many years, 2012 Olympian medalist. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So I grabbed both of you today and I said, hey, let's come on. Would love to hear some perspectives. And first I'll start with you, Kathleen. What was it like tonight? You were inducted into the Olympic team. What was it like for you standing here and hearing your name being called in the stadium?
Honestly, it was pretty cool, but they also called me Katie, which was something new. I was like, oh, I guess I have a new name. It was cool to get to go with everyone up there. We had a lot of fun waiting back there, and they gave us all the wrong medals, which was like funny to see. Like, oh, I had like men's 2 free, but I had a lot of fun.
What is it like for you, Jess, to be a part of this? And you've been to so many Olympic trials. We were actually talking about this, and the show that Omaha puts on is so special. What was it like for you to be here and compete? I was watching just the smile you had on your face when you got out of the 50 freestyle.
Totally. It's very different this time around. I came in with such less pressure, and I knew that it was my last domestic competition. So my goal was to just soak it up and experience it. And you gave me a lot of perspective on that. It's something that it's hard to really appreciate when you're in the moment, but I think I did a good job of that.
I think you did. So you've swam on many Team USA relays, and you're about to go to the Olympics and swim on, one of the greatest one. What does being a Team USA relay member mean? I'll start with you, Jess.
Relays especially are the best.
So fun.
When you're in the water, you're swimming with people like on the blocks waiting for you, so they're literally like pulling you in with their energy, and you are swimming for more than just your cap and more than just yourself. Those 4 girls mean everything to you in that moment, and it's way more pride than you can ever imagine.
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to about the relays?
I think making like an individual sport more of a team sport, I think that's something that is like incredible about relays. And like you swim for like what Jess said, like more than just yourself, your cap, you're like waiting on, those girls are waiting on you to finish, and you don't want to let them down. And like I think that's probably like the coolest thing is being on a relay versus just an individual.
I think so too, and so many people, I get insulted when people call swimming an individual sport.
Totally, yeah.
It is when we're behind the blocks and we're going through. I love that it's our responsibility to put things together, but we train day in and day out with an amazing team of people. We have a support system around us. Whenever I hear that, I'm like, you have no idea.
Yeah. I think people are surprised to hear that we train with like our rivals and stuff.
Yeah,
and we love each other.
More
genuinely.
than just one person.
Right?
Yeah, people are like, oh, like, is it hard when you're with your like competitors in the ready room? I was like, I love it. They're the people I've grown up with. Like, those are like my closest friends. Like, some of them I live with. So I'm like, well, they're like my best friends. So I really enjoy that.
I know. I think that that's so fun. So tonight earlier today you had a practice, and you were supposed to meet somebody there who didn't show up. What happened there?
Yeah.
Called out.
We were supposed to have practice at 2 this afternoon with Ryan, and I was like, saw him in the lobby. I was like, hey, I'm going over to the pool, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm running up to my room and I'll be right over there. So I walk over to the pool at 2 p.m. and then I get like a group message text, let's change it to 4:30. And I was like, already in my suit, ready to go. So I was just like, I'll just go right back to the hotel and wait. But I ended up getting to swim with them at Cam and Ryan at like 4:30, so it worked out.
Yeah, it was so funny. I saw you right before, and you were like, I can't find my equipment bag. And then she walked over to the side of the pool, and Ryan had her equipment bag right at the end of his lane.
I was like, someone stole my equipment. I had like looked everywhere, like in the massage area, and then I was like, of course he took it. And he, like, we don't have the same size feet. Like, he didn't need my fins.
So you both have been a part of some amazing training groups, like, and we've talked about that. You've trained with your competitors. What do you think that brings you on terms of race day training with that, knowing that you train with these people day in and day out? I'll go to you first, Jess.
It takes away a lot of the pressure because you can look at them and smile and kind of know that you've worked extremely hard together to get here. And, especially during the race, you can just kind of laugh and it's just another practice. And it's always really fun.
I know, so true. What about you with swim
I feel like it like calms me when I'm around people who I've like trained with because I know them so well, and it makes when they succeed even like bigger for you. Like I think that's what trials gets harder as you like know more people because you're so invested in so many different people's lives at this point that like I was watching like the races tonight and I was like, I'm nauseous. Like I can't even like deal with this, and I'm not even swimming.
Yeah.
So
How many Swim Mac team members have made the team? Do you know?
I think we're at 6, and our assistant coach said if we got 7 on it about a year ago that he'd get a tattoo. So
what's the tattoo?
Yeah. We don't know.
Do you guys get to choose?
I don't think so.
Is there a voting process or what, like maybe an honorary Olympic rings tattoo or something?
Maybe tweet it if you have suggestions.
Yeah, maybe we should make it a poll.
I'm excited. I hope one more person I think has to make it and he'll get a tattoo.
All right, one more. What do we have tomorrow? We have 50 free and 1,500 free. All right, well, we're pulling for Swim Mac to get that tattoo. But
exciting.
I know. Well, it was so nice. It was nice to meet you officially, Kathleen, and so good to see you as always, Jess. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us at Lane 9. It's funny not being at our home. I hope that we're back at the USA Swimming House tomorrow. You guys will have to come by. We have quite the setup over there, but thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
So that is all for us tonight out of Lane 9, but all week long we've invited you to join the conversation by tweeting at us using hashtag Lane 9. Share your questions, who are you cheering on, and where you are watching from for us to share live on the show. For all the latest video, news, and photos, visit us at usaswimming.org. And be sure to catch Caitlin Sandino tomorrow morning on Deck Pass Live at 9 a.m. Central Time. We'll see you tomorrow for our last show of Lane 9. We hope that we can get back home. Until then, good night from Omaha, and I will leave Caitlin's set the way that we found it.